Google's Antigravity has actually been around for a while now, but people are only just starting to realize how remarkable this tool really is. It's completely free, it gives you access to top-tier models, and it unlocks Google's most advanced AI capabilities, including reasoning, multimodal understanding, and full agentic workflows. With Antigravity, you can design frontends, build backends, manage databases, and automate entire applications faster and smarter than ever before. Today, I'm sharing a fully updated guide on how you can build any full-stack application easily and cheaply using Antigravity with other sorts of AI tools and open-source alternatives, all without writing a single line of code. We'll start off by using Google Stitch, which is a free UI and UX design agent that helps you create and refine production-ready front-end components in minutes, completely for free. And since they just released an MCP, it'll be easier to connect Stitch to our AI tools for better connectivity. Then we'll move into Google's Antigravity, a free AI IDE that's powered by Google and Gemini models. This isn't just for code generation, it's for autonomous code agents that can edit files, run terminal commands, use your browser, and solve real-world engineering tasks, end-to-end, stitching everything together automatically. For authentication and payments, we will be using OJS as well as Stripe as the payment gateway. For deployment, we will be using Vercel to host both the front-end and back-end serverless functions, giving us a scalable zero infrastructure setup. And by the end of this video, you'll have a fully functional AI-powered full-stack application with front-end, back-end authentication, payments, and deployment, all built code-free. And this is where we can use free options to help us create all of this. Now, to really demonstrate how powerful Antigravity is, I'm going to build something I've never built on this channel before, and that is a personal AI search engine that's powered entirely by Postgres. This won't be a basic search. This is where we're going to be adding a new layer of search intelligence using an open source Postgres extension that enables real, relevant, rank search with BM25 all directly inside the database. That means no Elasticsearch, no external search systems, and no data syncing. There is no leaving Postgres as well. And with this, we're building a true production-grade AI search engine that's powered by Postgres, and it's orchestrated by Gemini and deployed end-to-end using free and open tools. But now, let's get started and make sure we have all the prerequisites ready. Make sure you have a Google account so that you can access Stitch as well as Antigravity completely for free. And once you have signed up with an account with Google, or if you already have logged into one, then you can go ahead and install Antigravity for whatever operating system you have. Also, make sure that you have op.js on standby because we're going to be using this for authentication. A Stripe account setup so that you can collect payments. This is your payment gateway for your app that you're going to be building. Make sure you also have a Vercel account if you're going to be deploying with Vercel. To start off, we're going to be using Stitch. This is your AI UI designer, and it can thoroughly build out beautiful front ends for you and all the components within this canvas. You simply just describe what you want Stitch to build in terms of the design, and it will do it based off of if it's a mobile or web app. Now, what you can also do is connect it with the Stitch MCP to something like Antigravity so that you can directly have Antigravity iterate and work on changing designs from the IDE itself. To set that up, you can click on these three dots, click on MCP servers, click on Manage MCP servers. Then what you want to do is go back into Stitch. You want to click on the Settings tab and head over to Stitch Settings and create an API key so that you can then connect it to your MCP client. And I will leave a link to the Stitch docs for the MCP setup in the description below. Because what you're going to need to do is paste in your API key directly over here. And then you want to copy this config, which you can then paste into the raw config file that you can access directly within Antigravity. And you can paste it in over here. Now personally, I just like to actually generate my UI designs from the Stitch canvas itself because it is easier for me to visualize and use the Stitch tools to interact with different components. Now you want to be as descriptive as possible. Now I'm building the personal AI search assistant, which is that search engine that I'm going to be powering with the timescale search text engine. And what I'm going to now do is provide this descriptive prompt to Stitch to actually have it code out. You have the ability to choose different models like Gemini 3 Flash and Thinking, which will get the best generations. You can even generate images with the Nana Banana model. And you can even provide references like wireframes, screenshots, or sketches to get the best generations. But once you send in your prompt, Stitch is going to then iterate on that prompt and generate the designs for you. So here is the first iteration of what it has generated. It has generated the AI search home that I can use to basically get context for whatever files I have. Remember, this is an AI assistant that I'm going to have locally that is centered around searching local files. So the main interface of the search bar is really nice. And then you have it so that it will provide the AI answer, the sources, and then related queries that can prompt and showcase different searches. And I actually like this design. And what you can even do if you want to iterate on it even further is you can add in more variations. You can regenerate it. You can even have predictive heat maps. Now what you can even do is edit certain components by annotating certain areas of this design. What you can also do is once you have gotten the design that you want for your generation, what you can then do is click on share. You can enable sharing and remixing, and you can share this around as a link. Or what you can do is you can even get the code by exporting it. And this way, you can download it as a zip file, which we are going to do, and send it over to our coding agent, which is Antigravity. Now what you want to do is create a new directory where you're going to be having all your files saved when you're coding out your new application. Then what you want to do is you want to open that directory up within Antigravity. You want to select the planning mode, and you want to select the Opus 4.5 thinking, because we're going to now create the implementation plan for our AI agent to reference to build out all the other components. We're going to send this into Antigravity. This is where you can create any sort of prompt. I had basically created this prompt where I said that you are an autonomous full-stack AI agent operating inside Google Antigravity. Your task is to create a strict project rule set and step-by-step implementation plan for building a production-ready AI-powered web application. In this case, I'm building an AI search application, but essentially you want to be as descriptive as possible. You want to provide your project goal, what you're trying to create, what sort of tech stack you're using. In this case, I specified everything that I'm going to be using. And now I'm having it working upon creating this implementation plan. And just like that, it has created a detailed implementation plan. And the reason why we need to create this implementation plan is because it will make sure that the AI agent follows through with everything that we wanted to focus upon, like the payments, the database, the search. In this case, since I'm integrating it within my search engine as well as deployment, it is able to thoroughly focus on this tech stack. And you can see how detailed it is in terms of how it will work upon implementing each and every feature I had requested. But now what it is asking for is a couple of things. We're going to need to now provide our oath with different providers like Stripe as well as Tiger Data. First, what we're going to do is go into Tiger Data and we're going to create the backend for our app. This is where once you have created that free account within Tiger Data, you're going to need to create the service. Now you can simply go ahead and click on Create Service. Once that is done, you can then download the config either with a Python env file or download the database config. And they actually have an MCP server that makes this process super simple. They actually have a way for you to integrate AI coding tools directly by installing the script and then having the AI agent work with the MCP to help you communicate with your backend better. And the beauty of this is that you have the ability to actually set this up directly within Antigravity, where you can provide the config into the AI agent to have it set it up. But now we have an AI native Postgres instance that is designed specifically for agents to safely interact and manage our data. You have the ability to also track certain things like the security, the exporters. You also have the ability to track your logs, which will give you a good understanding of what is happening off of your instance. And then you can manage everything else like the settings, user, billing, and data view. From here, your AI agent can even create tables, store data, run queries, and even forward the database for testing all autonomously, since we have it connected with the Antigravity agent through the MCP. And that way, it can actually make changes to our database. But this is essentially where you can view the data as well. Currently, I am in the monitoring tab and you can see that it is already connected to our agent and it is able to actually interact with the database, which you see directly over here. Since the MCP is enabled, it is going to be able to provide us information like if I am to ask it, what's my Tiger Cloud services, it will give us a condensed idea of the service, like the service name, the database name, username, and couple of other things. And just to showcase that it actually works, I have ran this script directly within the SQL editor, which showcases a success, which showcases the live data, the sample data within our database of users, subscriptions, as well as the documents. Now, if you're using Stripe, this is where you're now going to need to get your API key and the auth keys so that you can then connect it directly within your app. Now, since I'm creating a personal AI search assistant, I'm going to be using the text search repository, which is open source, so that it is going to be able to use the BM25 ranking, and I can easily have that configured with Antigravity, because within my implementation plan, there is a step-by-step guide as to how it will implement it and use the correlated instructions that are listed directly over here to be embedded into my app. This is where I don't even need to build it from source or install it, because Antigravity has the implementation plan. Note it down as to what it's going to do, like enabling the extension itself, where it's going to run inside the Tiger Data Fortress database that we have already set up. It is going to create the table for our search engine. It is going to even insert sample data that we can reference for our generation, and then even create the BM25 index, where this way it will give the relevance ranking inside Postgres. And afterwards, we can then run our first rank search, which I'll showcase directly within the app. So rather than going through this repository, going to how to set it up, Antigravity is going to go ahead and set that up for me, since we have created this implementation plan for it. Now what I'm going to do is execute the implementation plan. And you can see that it is already implementing the BM extension within our app. The fact that it is able to fully code out every component on its own is just incredible, because now it is working on editing and refining everything. And just like that, we have a full functional app. I simply started up the server, the backend for the database, and then the front end for our app. And this is something that it has created. And it is definitely remarkable, guys. You have it so that you have a second brain which we have created. Since the text search is now integrated with Postgres and our database, what we can actually do is head over to the SQL editor and we can actually run this script over here, which will show us the relevant search term from our sample data. And this will actually give us results that are ranked by relevance using the BM20. And you can see from our sample data, it does provide this, where the lower score is focusing on a better match, just like a proper search engine. Now I refine the app even further, where I made sure to connect the endpoints for the O as well as Stripe gateways. And now I can easily sign in with GitHub or with my Google account. And now we can even get started with our payment gateway, which has been integrated with Stripe. Now what we can also do is showcase the new search features. This is where we can auto type with the ghost input. And this is a feature thanks to the Tiger data script. And this is where it is going to fill it in automatically. It's going to simulate real user queries. And you can see that thanks to Antigravity, it is feeding this directly into the Postgres AI search engine that's powered by the BM25, where it gives us this response. And the beauty of all of this is that I fully created this fully functional AI search engine built entirely inside Postgres, powered by the BM25 ranking, and orchestrated it with Antigravity, and it was able to use all these free tools to help me get this fully created with a full stack. This is the quality that you get with all these different tools, especially when you power it with Antigravity, so that you can essentially build full stack AI apps or essentially anything where you can use Postgres in a whole new way, which you saw from today's video. I'll leave all these links in the description below so that you can easily get started. But with that thought, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos so that you can stay up to date with the latest AAT news. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.